KSBY News starts right now.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A car chase near San Simeon ended with the driver of a stolen U-Haul truck taken into custody, according to the SLO Sheriff's Office. It just ended about 30 minutes ago near Ragged Point, and the San Luis Obispo Sheriff's Office says they received reports of a U-Haul driving erratically and then spotted the vehicle speeding in the area near the Elephant Seals around 10:20 p.m. The Sheriff's Office says the chase ended when the driver crashed and lost control of the vehicle in a corner. The stolen vehicle has a license plate from Arizona. This is a developing story. We'll keep you updated as we receive more information on KSBY.com. We shift our focus now to Syria, where French fighter jets have launched their biggest raids to date. The French military released video of jets taking off. French defense officials say the planes were targeting the ISIS stronghold in Raqqa, Syria. The Defense Ministry says 12 aircraft and 10 fighter jets participated in the raids, which were launched simultaneously from the United Arab Emirates and Jordan. A total of 20 bombs were dropped. The operation was carried out in coordination with U.S. forces. And French police have issued a wanted notice with a photo of a man suspected in the Paris attacks. Now, a massive search is underway for Salah Abdeslam, a 26-year-old man born in Brussels. French authorities warn people who see him that he is dangerous, saying, "Do not intervene yourself." A police official says the suspect rented a black Volkswagen Polo used in the attack at the Bataclan concert hall. Authorities have also identified 2 more suicide bombers involved in Friday's attacks. And as attacks were being launched in Syria, panic and confusion broke out once again on the French capital. Fear overcame many at a plaza in the heart of the city. David Ushery has more on this story.
It was sudden, swift, and with no clear cause. At the Place de la République in central Paris, a few moments of chaos as police pulled guns and tried to figure out just what was going on. In nearby restaurants, people hit the ground. In the end, no threat, but rattled nerves for people with broken hearts. They need to stop. They need to stop killing innocent people, she says. The fear, the sorrow, among many emotions we witnessed in this historic plaza on this day. In fact, the Parisians gathering here in a collective show of defiance in the face of terrorist evil. It seemed more families with small children emerged. Their innocence a gentle distraction for parents who must wrestle with explaining why so many people are so sad.
Ce soir,
at the Cathedral of Notre Dame, a spiritual shroud of comfort, and just outside, the familiar flames of remembrance. Earlier, a tearful Callie Weaver of Seattle told me what many have said in the past 2 days.
I think it changes my view on 9/11 being no longer just an American thing. It's a global issue. It's heartbreaking. It's evil that you really can't explain.
But she said she will return to Paris in a heartbeat. And the crowds that rushed from the square earlier, most of them were back within minutes. David Ushery for NBC News, Paris.
And in a tragic bond of understanding, people around the United States have also been honoring the victims of Friday's attacks. In Boston, the events that unfolded in Paris hit home for many people who are still hurting from the Boston Marathon attacks of 2013. People gathered in the city common to unite and pray, holding up French flags and signs. And in Washington, a memorial has been set up outside the French embassy. The U.S. flag was lowered at half-mast at the White House, and President Obama ordered all public and government buildings to do the same. And as people continue to mourn for the lives lost in this tragedy, and more information is known about the victims, we know most are young people, some Americans. NBC's Blake McCoy has more from Los Angeles on One Woman's Story.
Nohemi Gonzalez. Those close to the 23-year-old simply called her Mimi.
She was very warm, very caring.
Nohemi's aunt says the student from Southern California was in Paris fulfilling a dream. Fascinated with the city, Nohemi wanted to learn French. So the design major from Cal State Long Beach signed up for a foreign exchange program.
Very much of a go-getter. Everything she wanted to do, she went after it. She she found the way to get it done.
A determination shattered when a gunman burst in. Nohemi was eating at a restaurant with 2 friends Friday night when she was shot in the stomach and killed. Nohemi's cousin calls this a nightmare she's waiting to wake up from.
It's like this is really happening. This is happening, and there's nothing I can really do to bring her back.
Nohemi's mother gets tearful thinking about the dreams stolen from her daughter.
She wanted to have a career and a family.
And at Nohemi's school,
I and the entire campus are heartbroken.
classmates pay tribute. The basketball team held a moment of silence before last night's game, and the Cal State Long Beach website is dark, except for a single light that still shines, a light for Nohemi Gonzalez.
And as we've seen, Nohemi was just one of so many heartbreaking stories, and Cal State Long Beach is planning a candlelight vigil tomorrow afternoon. And back on the Central Coast, a suspect is in custody following a standoff in Paso Robles last night that lasted 9 hours. 61-year-old Nicole Hane Luxor of Paso Robles was booked into jail on 1 count of murder. Bail has been set at $1 million, and yesterday San Luis Obispo County sheriffs responded to a standoff incident on the 4200th block of Old Nacimiento Road. When deputies arrived at the scene, Luxor was barricaded inside the residence. Once the sheriff's special enforcement detail unit entered the house, they discovered a man in his early 30s dead. Luxor fired shots at the officers and did communicate with negotiators, but just before midnight, the suspect gave up and was taken into custody. And more than 3,000 residents were left without power this morning in San Luis Obispo. The California Highway Patrol says the driver of a white Toyota Tacoma crashed into a power pole along Foothill Boulevard near O'Connor Way. The incident happened just shortly after 8 a.m. and as a result of the crash, a total of 3,270 PG&E customers were left without power. Although services were restored to the majority of residences by 10:30 a.m., 31 houses still remain without power. Their service is expected to be restored early tomorrow morning. The driver who caused the outage was uninjured and no arrests were made. And the search for a missing boater whose vessel capsized near Vandenberg has ended. Coast Guard officials say they located the 46-year-old man's body just 50 yards from the Vandenberg boat ramp. Shortly after 8 p.m. on Saturday, the Coast Guard received several calls that a 14-foot aluminum vessel with 3 people on board had overturned. 2 men successfully swam to shore, but the third male remained missing up until this afternoon. Several emergency crews assisted in the search, including the Santa Barbara County Fire Department. And coming up next on KSBY News, hundreds of cyclists gather for an annual Central Coast event. Learn why organizers are not calling this event a race and instead they're making this cycling ride enjoyable to everyone. And later see how a local soccer enthusiast wants to make one person's dream come true. Woo! Well, our Season of Hope campaign is underway, and KSBY has teamed up with local nonprofit organizations, fire departments, and several local businesses to make the holidays a little bit brighter for everyone in our community. This Thursday, November 19th, we will be live again for Season of Hope from Heritage Oaks Bank in Santa Maria. We'll be accepting your donations there, but if you can't make it out, we have drop-off locations set up throughout San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties where you can donate non-perishable foods and new unwrapped toys. And a historic barn in San Luis Obispo is getting thousands of dollars worth of renovations that will serve the entire community. The Land Conservancy of San Luis Obispo announced upcoming plans for the Octagon Barn located on South Higuera. Volunteers hope to transform the site around the barn by adding buildings and support services. Some of these plans include making the barn into a staging area for the Bob Jones Trail. It will also be the venue for different community events like concerts, family picnics, and farmers markets. And hundreds of people had a scenic view of the Central Coast shores today during an Italian-inspired cycling ride. The second annual Giro della Costa Centrale took place today in Avila Beach. Participants from around the country and the world raced over 4-time routes ranging from 25 miles to 100 miles. And while some cyclists were riding for time today, one event organizer explains why this event could be enjoyed by everyone.
This really is designed to be more of an enjoyable ride for people to just come out and really experience the best of what the Central Coast has to offer.
And this year's race also raised money for 2 organizations, the Alpha Foundation, which offers pregnancy support for low-income families, and the Hearst Cancer Resource Center at French Hospital. And a local resident and soccer enthusiast is on a mission to raise money and make wishes come true. 12-year-old Lexi Brown is battling cancer, but she is not letting that get in her way. Lexi wants to raise money for Make-A-Wish Tri-Counties. In June, the organization fulfilled Lexi's wish of attending the Women's World Cup tournament in Canada. Now she wants to make sure other children battling cancer get to live a memorable experience like she did. In honor of Lexi's love for soccer, a foot golf fundraiser tournament was organized today in Los Osos. And back here on the Central Coast, the rain didn't keep beachgoers away from Pismo Beach this morning. Check out this video. There were some large swells out there, as you can see, but we do have some wind picking, and that's going to change your surf, and some other advisories we got in there. I'll have all those details after the break.
The Season of Hope, brought to you on KSBY 6 and CW5 by CCPN, Heritage Oaks Bank, San Luis Bay Motors Kia, R&R Furniture, Sierra Vista Regional Medical Center, and Twin Cities Community Hospital.
Well, it was a beautiful Sunday on the Central Coast, a little bit different than we have seen. We got some rain, and with that rain, we got some amazing rainbows. This one was outside of our KSBY studios in San Luis Obispo, and our photojournalist Nate Asher got a beautiful video of this entire rainbow, something we don't get to see often, and some great Facebook photos. Thank you guys for sending those in. Amber Rose sent this one in, a beautiful rainbow shot out there, and then we got one more. Just look at that. So hopefully you got to enjoy that today. All right, well, how much rain did we get? Pretty good amount, especially in the North County area. Morro Bay, just over a quarter inch, but Paso showing strong amounts almost at half an inch. In Santa Margarita, San Luis Obispo, and Oceano, just over a quarter, so very good there. Santa Barbara County, not as much, but still did fairly well, just under a quarter of an inch out there. Computer model is not showing any rain, unfortunately, along the west coast where we would like it, but we do see some strong rain bands going up into the Midwest right now, going into that Chicago, Indiana area, especially Nashville, seeing a lot of rain right now as well. Our outlook, our showers will be ending tonight, if they haven't already ended in your area, but winds are kicking in. If you haven't felt them, they are going to be there very strong overnight because of a pressure gradient force. I'll explain that in a second. But strong and damaging northwest winds. Be very careful of any trees you might have in the backyard. Put stuff away. Make sure it's sturdy, because SLO County, 25 to 35 miles per hour with gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Santa Barbara County, though, a little bit stronger, 35 to 45 miles per hour with gusts up to 65 miles per hour. National Weather Service is saying some gusts could be up to 80 miles per hour, so it can be very strong out there. Clear skies, though, for the rest of the week. Windy conditions will remain until the end of the week, but those warm temperatures are going to bounce back by the end of the week. Nice shot out there at the beach of our currents. Santa Maria at 53 right now, SLO 49, Paso seeing 46 this evening, Lompoc 55, and Santa Barbara at 55 as well. And current winds calmed down a little bit from earlier this evening, but they are going to remain quite strong. 18 miles per hour in Santa Barbara, Vandenberg 26, Cambria at 12 miles per hour. They're going to remain strong out there, so be a little bit careful, especially if you're driving through passes. What we're seeing is this low pressure system is coming up with that cold front that's pushing through the area. You can see that high pressure system starting to make its way in, so that's what dropped our temperatures. And this high pressure system moving in, this is Wednesday, is going to make our temperatures a little bit more warm. But because we have that high pressure system tailgating pretty much that low pressure system, it's giving us that pressure gradient force, making it very windy, very cold, kind of just screwing up all those weather patterns, making it very windy and giving us all these advisories. High surf advisory, that gale warning. Be careful if you go out there, 12 to 15 feet surf, max sets of 20 feet. Northwest facing beaches are going to be seeing those the most. Also high surf advisory for tomorrow morning. Hazardous sea conditions, be careful of that, and also those wind advisories out in SLO and Santa Barbara County because of those northwest winds. Again, those gusts will be strong up until tomorrow. Wind tracking, you can see those northwest winds is going to remain very strong, especially along those coastal areas and then up in those valley areas. Hour by hour tomorrow in Santa Maria, it's going to be up to 63, remaining in the low 40s for the morning. Partly cloudy skies, not too bad tomorrow. San Luis Obispo also getting up to 62. And Paso, it's going to remain very chilly in the morning, as you can see here, but warming up to about 55. Those temps are going to change by the end of the week, as you will see. Microclimate forecast, we're going to have clear skies, but we do have that snowpack up in the mountains, which is nice to see. Microclimates, lows in the 30s and 40s, highs in the 60s for the most part across the Central Coast. In our 5-day forecast in Santa Maria and Santa Barbara, we're going to start off a little bit chilly, but you can see that warming trend by the end of the week. Warming up, it's going to look a lot like those temperatures we saw about 2 weeks ago. Paso and San Luis Obispo as well, starting off with clouds tomorrow, but clear skies, sunny skies, and temperatures in the 70s to end our week. All right, for more sports with Travis Clark, join us after the break. Look at this. Philadelphia police went on a wildlife chase after two zebras were on the loose this afternoon, and police say the two zebras escaped from the Universal Circus. The black and white and black, whatever you want to call it, striped animals were wrangled in about 40 minutes, and later the 2 miles from the Mann Center for the Performing Arts, where the circus is set to perform. No word about how those zebras escaped.
This is breaking, man.
Breaking news. We wanted to make sure you got that in, though, before you go to bed tonight. For more news, weather, and sports, go to KSBY.com. Good night.
Mustang Roundups next, baby.